In this episode, we are summarizing the 6th episode from Season 2 of the Wire series titled All Prologue. The episode first aired on July 6th, 2003. In the beginning, while awaiting his court appearance, Omar Little helps the bailiff with a crossword clue. When questioned about his profession by ASA Eileen Nathan, he honestly identifies Marquise Bird Hilton as someone he served prison time with. Bird's attorney, Maurice Levi, objects to mentioning Bird's past convictions, and it is removed from the record. Omar also identifies Bird's weapon and taunts him for not disposing of it properly. This causes Bird to become enraged and requires restraint by the court. Stringer Bell informs Jimmy McNulty that word on the street suggests Omar wasn't near the crime scene, but McNulty reminds him that such rumors hold no value in court. During the cross-examination, Levi questions Omar about any deal with the police regarding his testimony. He brings up Omar's arrest record, including an attempted murder charge for shooting a drug dealer. Omar amusingly explains the incident, earning a reaction from the jury. Levi characterizes Omar as a violent criminal and suggests he would have killed Gant himself if necessary, accusing him of being a parasite in the drug culture. Omar cleverly responds by comparing himself to Levi, stating they both benefit from the drug trade, one through the use of a shotgun and the other through the use of a briefcase. The courtroom is shocked, and both Nathan and Judge Fallon are impressed with Omar's performance. Upon the jury's guilty verdict, Judge Fallon shows no leniency towards Bird, swiftly proceeding with sentencing and sentencing him to life imprisonment without parole unless extraordinary evidence proves otherwise. After the trial, Nathan provides Omar with her card, offering a get-out-of-jail-free pass for any charge up to aggravated assault. Omar leaves the courthouse. Bird ends up threatening his life. As we catch up with the Sabaka detail, Lieutenant Cedric Daniels reviews his detail's findings. Frank Sabaka appears to live within his means, but the union is struggling with declining membership and debts. Campaign finance records show a paper trail linking the union to $70,000 in contributions. While street-level hand-to-hand deals have been successful, no direct ties between drug dealers and the union have been established yet. Beatty Russell suggests the union may be involved in smuggling at the port. Daniels introduces Russell and Bunk Moreland, who are also cooperating on the Jane Doe homicides. He reassigns Kima Greggs and Prez to focus on the vice trade, while pairing Friedman with Russell and Bunk to investigate container movements. Herc asks Russell out, but is declined, leading to mocking from Ellis Carver. In another scene, Russell teaches Bunk and Daniels how to track container movements using computers, but she cautions them about the need for extensive surveillance hours. Bunk, feeling bored by the surveillance work, heads to the bar early, where he confides in McNulty. He believes Colonel William Rawls expects him to solve the cases, or else he might be pushed out of the unit. McNulty, fed up with his role as a detective, tears up the photo of the dead girl he had been carrying and decides to focus on rebuilding his relationship with Elena. Remember, I am summarizing this entire series as well as other popular works of literature, movies, and TV shows as well. Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss the next episode or series. If you would like to see the playlists of our summaries, click on the link in the description. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. If you find the content valuable, consider supporting us on Patreon if you can. Doing this helps my channel out tremendously. I thank you for your support. The following day, Russell and Freeman present their discoveries to Daniels, while Bunk deals with a severe hangover. They successfully connect all the missing containers to Thomas Horseface Pacuza. However, Daniels remains hesitant to merge the Jane Doe murders with their investigation, even with the connection through Horseface. As we catch up with Stringer Bell, we see him making a delivery to someone in Washington, D.C. to organize a hit on someone else. When Brianna goes to visit D'Angelo, she tries to convince him to take advantage of Avon's scheme involving Correctional Officer Tillman to reduce his sentence. However, he firmly declines, denouncing Avon's actions as evil. D'Angelo stands up for himself, reminding his mother of the values she taught him. He asks her to tell Stringer Bell, Avon, and Donette to stop bothering him. When he crosses paths with Avon in the corridor, D'Angelo refuses to engage in conversation. In the prison library, D'Angelo is brutally attacked and choked with a belt by a fellow inmate. The attacker then stages the scene to make it look like D'Angelo hung himself from the door handle and runs out of the library without being noticed. In another scene, Nick Sabatka meets up with Spiros and Eaton to discuss the chemical issue and seeks their assistance with Ziggy's problem involving cheese. Vondas suggests eliminating cheese, but Nick declines, emphasizing he doesn't want a violent conflict and acknowledges Ziggy's mistakes. Impressed by Nick's approach, Vondas agrees to provide support for Nick's conversation with Cheese. Nick accompanies Sergey to meet with Cheese, but becomes concerned when Sergey brandishes a firearm. Sergey informs Nick that he has negotiated with Cheese and will talk to Proposition Joe about compensating Ziggy for the car damage. They arrange a meeting with Proposition Joe at his electronics shop, and Joe agrees to provide compensation for Ziggy's car. Joe acknowledges that their connection with the Greeks saved them from dire consequences, while also understanding the challenges of dealing with problematic family members like Ziggy, a common occurrence even in his own life. Nick hands over the chemicals to Eaton and Vondas, who propose paying him with drugs. He decides to accept half the payment in cash and the other half in drugs. To avoid any issues, Nick ensures Ziggy is kept away from the package, given his past troubles. Their associate, Johnny 50, is also there to provide transportation back home. Frank Sabatka ends up leading a union meeting discussing their political goals. Nat Coxon expresses doubt about the effectiveness of dredging the pier and restarting the grain pier. After the meeting, Nat privately warns Frank to be cautious, suspecting him of receiving money from another source. Back at Dolores' bar, Frank buys a round while Little Big Roy and Horseface share stories. Nick arrives to give Ziggy his payment, and Ziggy immediately splurges on drinks and burns some money. Disgusted by Ziggy's behavior, Frank questions him about the bruises from the previous beating, but Ziggy lies about their origin. Frank asks Ziggy about the source of the money and ends up suggesting to Ziggy that he should have kept on going to school. Ziggy reflects on his childhood as the conversation continues. That was episode number 19, titled All Prologue. To watch the next or previous episode summary, click on the link in the description or at the end of this video. In the description, you will also find additional links for supporting our channel. I'll see you on the next episode. Goodbye. We upload new videos every week, so subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit the like button as well. Click the notification bell to be notified of when we upload these videos. See you on the next episode of Culture Screen.